Three legends, three icons, three of the greatest footballers the world has ever seen. Pelé, George Best, and Franz Beckenbauer. Names that echo through the halls of football history. They dazzled millions with their talent. They broke records. They redefined what it meant to be a superstar. But when they brought their magic to the United States, with the goal of revolutionizing soccer in a country where the sport was barely on the radar, something unexpected happened. Why didn't these three giants of the game succeed in changing the course of American soccer forever? Stick around as we dive deep into the thrilling but ultimately tragic story of how the dreams of Pelé, Best, and Beckenbauer fell short of transforming the beautiful game in the USA. Pelé, the king of football. Born Edson Arantes do Nascimento in Brazil, Pelé was a footballing prodigy, debuting for Santos FC at the tender age of 15. By 17, he was lifting the World Cup for Brazil in 1958, and he went on to win 2 more World Cups in 1962 and 1970, solidifying his place as arguably the greatest footballer of all time. Over his illustrious career, Pelé scored over 1,000 goals, a feat that remains unmatched. His ability to mesmerize defenders, his uncanny knack for finding the back of the net, and his charisma made him an icon not just in Brazil but across the globe. George Best, the Belfast boy. A magician with the ball at his feet and a rock star off the pitch. Best burst onto the scene with Manchester United in the 1960s, dazzling fans with his flair, dribbling, and scoring abilities. In 1968, he won the Ballon d'Or, crowning him as Europe's best player. The same year, he helped United secure the European Cup, making them the first English club to achieve this feat. But Best was more than just a footballer, he was a cultural icon, known for his wild lifestyle as much as his brilliance on the pitch. And then there's Franz Beckenbauer, der Kaiser, the Emperor. A footballer of unmatched elegance and tactical intelligence, Beckenbauer revolutionized the role of the sweeper, turning defense into an art form. Leading West Germany to World Cup victory in 1974 and winning the Ballon d'Or twice, Beckenbauer was not just a player but a leader, a commander on the field who saw the game several steps ahead of everyone else. In the 1970s, these three titans of the game came to the United States, brought in by the North American Soccer League, the NASL. The idea was simple but ambitious: bring the best players in the world to America and use their star power to ignite a soccer revolution in a country dominated by baseball, American football, and basketball. The stage was set for something extraordinary, but instead of sparking a lasting change, the NASL, despite these megastars, would collapse within a decade. What went wrong? The first challenge was the timing. When Pelé joined the New York Cosmos in 1975, soccer in the United States was still in its infancy. The sport had no deep-rooted tradition like in Europe or South America. The infrastructure was lacking: no youth academies, no established leagues, and only a scattered few who really understood the game. Pelé's arrival brought immense attention, but for most Americans, soccer was still a foreign concept. Something played elsewhere, not here in the heartland of America. Adding to this was the structure of the NASL itself. The league's strategy was heavily reliant on star power. Pelé, Best, Beckenbauer, and a handful of other global stars were the main attractions. And while these players certainly drew crowds, especially in cities like New York, the league's focus on international stars over developing local talent was a critical misstep. The team spent heavily on these big names, but without a solid foundation, this was unsustainable. Financial instability became a constant issue as teams struggled to stay afloat, leading to the eventual collapse of the NASL in 1984. The collapse wasn't just about money. Soccer had a niche appeal. While Pelé, Best, and Beckenbauer could fill stadiums on their own, the broader American public wasn't captivated by the sport itself. Once these stars retired or moved on, the buzz died down, and the sport struggled to maintain any momentum. Without them, the NASL had little left to offer. Another major hurdle was media and broadcasting. In the 1970s, soccer didn't have the media presence in the US that it needed to thrive. Games were often broadcast at odd times or with minimal coverage, making it difficult for the sport to gain a foothold in the public consciousness. This was a time when television was dominated by the NFL, NBA, and MLB, and soccer simply couldn't compete for attention on the same level. Despite all this, for a brief moment, there was hope. The NASL expanded rapidly, adding teams and cities across the country. But this rapid growth proved unsustainable. as many franchises struggled with finances and failed to attract enough fans to justify their existence. The overexpansion was a key factor in the league's eventual downfall, leaving soccer in the US in a state of disarray until the emergence of Major League Soccer, MLS, in 1996. So, did Pelé, George Best, and Franz Beckenbauer fail? In one sense, yes. They did not succeed in sparking the soccer revolution that the NASL had hoped for. The league's collapse was a significant setback, and for years, professional soccer in the US struggled to find its footing. But in another sense, their presence laid the groundwork for what was to come. They introduced millions of Americans to the beauty of the game and planted the seeds for future growth. Today, soccer is growing in the United States, with Major League Soccer becoming increasingly popular and the US men's and women's national teams achieving success on the global stage. And as we look forward to the 2026 World Cup, which the US will co-host, we see the realization of the dream that Pelé, Best, and Beckenbauer once had, a dream of soccer becoming a major sport in America. It took time, patience, and a new approach, but the seeds they planted are finally bearing fruit. The question now is, how far can soccer go in the land of opportunity? The revolution they started didn't happen overnight, but make no mistake, their impact still resonates today. The world will be watching when the United States takes center stage in the 2026 World Cup, a stage that might not have existed without these three legends. The beautiful game has taken root in America, and its story is far from over. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legends of soccer and their impact on the game, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update on all things football. Share this video with fellow fans, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. See you in the next one.